County Health Department is always working for a healthier future.
Your information station, WTIM.
Welcome in to WTIM, your information station. My name is Tim Zalabak, your host of the WTIM Morning Show. We would like to thank our sponsors before we get another great show started here. People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better at Landmark. On the line right now is Gene Applegate. He's the cardiopulmonary director over at Pana Community Hospital. How are you today, Gene?
I'm good. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. Thanks so much for taking the time today. We got an interesting topic. We're going to stick on it the whole time today, and you're the expert. We came to the right guy. If we're talking, we're going to talk sleep studies today. And question number one: why would I even? What is a sleep study? And why would I need to go in for one? What is a sleep study?
So yeah, Sleep Studies is a new service that we're offering here at Payne Community Hospital, and we're super excited to have this to be available for our patients. So it's a sleep study. The patient would come in. It's an overnight test done here at the hospital. You would arrive late in the evening.
Hey, Gene, I'm super sorry. Do you think you could just pick up your voice just a little bit, maybe move a little bit closer to the phone? You're real quiet on our end. We want our listeners to hear this.
Oh, sure.
Thank you. That's way better. Yep, perfect.
Okay. So yeah, the sleep study is an overnight test you would do here at the hospital. You would arrive late in the evening, and they would take you upstairs to where we would do the sleep studies. They'll apply several sensors and electrodes to you just before you go to sleep. Then they take you and place you in a nice quiet room and just basically let you go to sleep. Technician will be staged in the adjacent room. There'll be an infrared camera in the room with you so that the technician can monitor you and see what's going on. This camera also has audio capabilities, so you'd be able to have communication with that technician. Now, while you're in there sleeping, this technician, I said, is going to be monitoring you. The machine is going to be recording your brainwave activity, the oxygen levels in your blood, your heart rate, your respiratory rate, your body position. It's going to be listening for snoring and then monitoring your chest and abdomen movements, as well as your eye and leg movements.
So many things to go over right there. I mean, you're being monitored in so many different ways right there. So you're in a very safe space right here. I feel like that might be my first concern is I'm scared to sleep in a different space right there, especially a very medical one right there. So, I mean, you got all the parameters there set up, right? And this is tracking really every part of your sleep here.
Yes, it is. It monitors every aspect of sleep so we can see what's going on.
Okay, so I mean, it turns out that sleep is a pretty important aspect of a daily life for humans here. So why would this be needed? Why would you need to come in for a sleep study?
So before I talk about why a sleep study would be needed, I just want to talk a little bit about sleep itself. So there are 4 different stages of sleep, and your body cycles through these different stages throughout the night. So stage 1 is very short. It only lasts a few minutes. Stage 1 occurs when you first fall asleep. In that stage, your body is not fully relaxed. And an interesting note about stage 1, if your sleep is uninterrupted during the entire night, you may not ever return to stage 1. So we'll move on to stage 2. So stage 2, your body is more subdued. There will be a drop in your body temperature. Your muscles become relaxed. Your heart rate and your respiratory rate slows down, and your brainwave actually slows down as well. However, there are short bursts of activity in your brain, which help your body resist any external stimuli. It's a built-in defense mechanism. So it kind of keeps you there in that stage. Now, as the night goes long, the amount of time that you spend in stage 2 will get longer. Stage 3 is known as a deep sleep. So during stage 3, the patient is harder to wake up. Your muscle tone, your pulse, your breathing, they slow down even further. This stage is critical to restorative sleep. And most of the first half of the night is spent in stage 3. Now, the amount of time spent in stage 3 gets longer as the night progresses. So the first 3 stages that I've covered are called non-REM sleep. And when I say REM, that stands for rapid eye movement. So the 4th stage, which is the final one, is REM sleep, rapid eye movement sleep. So during this stage, your brain activity actually picks up. So in stage 3, it goes down. Stage 4, it comes back up. So during stage 4, there's a temporary paralysis of the muscles, except for the muscles for breathing and your eyes, which is where this stage gets its sleep, or its name, rapid eye movement sleep, because your eyes do a lot of twitching back and forth, back and forth. And actually, they can see that on the camera. It's pretty cool to watch. So in stage 4, this is where you get your most vivid dreams. The REM stage gets longer as the night progresses, especially in the second half of the night. And REM sleep is essential to cognitive functions such as memory, learning, and creativity.
Wow.
So as I say, yeah, that's a lot.
Whoa.
As I stated earlier, your body goes through multiple sleep cycles throughout the night. Without the proper amount of deep sleep, stage 3 and stage 4 REM sleep, your brain and your body doesn't get the chance to recuperate and develop properly.
Yeah.
So with a sleep study, the sensors and the electrodes that are attached to you, those help monitor these different sleep stages and cycles so that they can diagnose sleep disorders. It can identify if or when your sleep patterns are disrupted and why.
Wow.
So now you may not fall asleep as easily or sleep as well as you do at home during a sleep study, but that typically doesn't affect the test results because a full night's sleep isn't always required to obtain accurate results.
Yeah. Gene, you are, I love what you're saying right now. It's still a little bit quiet on our end. We're
Okay.
talking right now, but we were talking a little bit about the entering into REM sleep and now entering into that, kind of moving into why you need the sleep study and all of the amazing things that it's going to reveal to you. Just one more reminder there, being a little bit more loud for us. You're saying amazing things right now. Just stepping 1 second back there, in the first 3 stages of sleep, and this is something I've heard, it can be a bit hard. Maybe it's something people are doing in their daily lives to even enter in to that very important stage of sleep. Is that true? Is there truth to that statement?
Oh yeah, there are many factors that can lead to why you're not getting into those different stages, and that's part of what a sleep study does, because there are these common sleep disorders that a sleep study is ordered for. One of them, periodic limb movement disorder. So with this, a person flexes and extends their legs while they're sleeping. And this is often linked to restless leg syndrome, which is something that some of your viewers may have heard of before. And that is the uncontrollable urge to move legs while you're usually in the evening or the bedtime. Yeah. And then there's narcolepsy. Narcolepsy is associated with an overwhelming daytime drowsiness. And patients with narcolepsy can fall asleep suddenly, which can be bad. Yeah. REM sleep behavior disorder. Now this involves acting out dreams during your sleep, which that could be bad as well.
Yeah.
Other unusual behaviors during sleep, like walking or moving around or rhythmic movements during sleep. Another one is insomnia. I'm sure a lot of people experience that, and that's just where you don't get enough total sleep. And then the big one's obviously sleep apnea. Sleep apnea is where you struggle to cycle into the deeper stages of sleep. And then obstructive sleep apnea is probably the most common one, and that involves the use of a positive airway pressure.
Okay. So a lot of these, before you went into the apneas and such, they seem almost like mental, that are manifesting themselves in these physical attributes right there, where in the sleep study, you are really finding which stage of sleep that they aren't really able to get into or what they're having trouble with there. And then those are manifesting into things, like you said, in narcolepsy and those different types of aspects. And all that's becoming revealed in a sleep study.
Absolutely.
Wow.
They get a lot of information.
Wow. And you mentioned positive airway pressure there at the very end. Can you explain that a little bit? You were talking about apnea and also the restless leg syndrome. I forgot about that one. That's something I've heard of. All of this stuff. So insane. Yeah.
Yeah. So positive airway pressure is associated with the obstructive sleep apnea.
Okay.
So with obstructive sleep apnea, the patient actually stops and starts breathing repeatedly throughout the night. So what happens is when they start to fall asleep, their throat muscles relax and the airway becomes blocked. So when that happens, guess what? The patient snores.
Yep.
I'm sure almost everybody that's listening probably knows somebody that snores. So this is actually a potentially serious disorder, because when your airways get blocked and you start to snore, you're not breathing effectively. So then your oxygen levels drop and your heart rate can become very slow during that time. So to open the airways, to help open the airways during sleep, we would apply a gentle stream of air through a mask, either a face mask or a nasal mask, to their face to apply that extra pressure into their airways to help open them up. Now, I'm sure a lot of people have probably heard of CPAP or BiPAP.
Yeah.
So CPAP is just one constant pressure is applied to the airways the entire time.
Wow.
BiPAP is a little bit different. There's a higher pressure that's applied when they inhale, and then a smaller steady pressure that's applied when they exhale. So it cycles as they breathe to give the patient the pressure that they need to maintain those open airways.
Sure.
So yeah, the technician is monitoring your sleep and looking for these events of when you're sleeping. And during a sleep study, if a certain criteria is met during the first half of the night, the technician may come in and apply this positive airway pressure during the second half of the test to show improvement. Now, if for some reason, that criteria is not met before the halfway mark, the patient may need to come back for a second night at some point to have that positive airway pressure applied, so we can show that the airways are closed and need to be opened.
Sure.
Now, also, a sleep study can be used for those that are already using positive airway pressure at home. They may need their settings adjusted. Over time, their body may change, so they can come in and get a sleep study, and we can apply that positive airway pressure in different settings, and see what the optimal pressure is for them.
Sure. Yeah. When I think of a sleep study, the first thing that does come to mind is that sleep apnea. As a son with a father that I grew up with the CPAP machine in the house and learned all the scary events that could happen when he fell asleep on the couch without the CPAP machine. That led to him having no naps growing up because I never let him sleep. It woke him up. The snoring there. I mean, it's a scary, really scary fact with the sleep apnea there. We're going to learn a little bit more about sleep studies and if there are any risks to going to a sleep study. We're going to find out all of that from Gene Applegate with Pana Community Hospital. He's their cardiopulmonary director right here on the WTIM Morning Show. We are set to take ourselves a break. My name is Tim Zalabak, your host of the WTIM Morning Show. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
Your information station, WTIM.
Hi everyone, Brandon Bible here, your local country financial representative at 1305 West Presser in Taylorville. Myself, along with my wife Samantha and our assistant Nicole Patrick, are proud to recognize the Tornado student athletes that represent our community by being the exclusive sponsor of WTIM Brandon Bible Country Financial Player of the Game during Tornado sports broadcast this school year. WTIM announcers will select a player at the end of each game who will receive a certificate for being named our Player of the Game. Good luck to all teams this season and go Tornadoes.
Hi, I'm Jack Boston.
And I'm Ben Wamsley. We're students at Taylorville High School enrolled in the Tommy TV video production class.
Several of us are also involved in hosting the afternoon show from 4 till 6 weekdays on New Country 104.1.
We're inviting you to join us every afternoon as we discuss all that's going on at Taylorville High School, like upcoming events, sports, and Tommy TV.
Join us weekday afternoons from 4 till 6 on New Country 104.1. I'm Jack Boston.
And I'm Ben Wamsley, inviting you to join us for Tommy TV on the radio.
The Christian County Economic Development Corporation is a not-for-profit organization whose mission is to promote the creation and retention of jobs and to increase the economic tax base through the development, establishment, and expansion of commerce and industry in the Christian County area. I'm Matt Hart, CCEDC's new Executive Director. I'm here to work with existing county employers as well as develop relationships towards creating new jobs in our county. Feel free to reach out to me, Matt Hart, by clicking our icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Here's another lifestyle medicine message from Dr. Pavi Gill at Springfield Clinic, Taylorville.
Lifestyle medicine is about motivating you to improve your quality of life by changing habits and behaviors. We'll work together to help reverse and prevent diseases such as type 2 diabetes, coronary heart disease, hypertension, and more.
Book your lifestyle medicine appointment with Dr. Gill by calling Springfield Clinic, Taylorville, and improve your quality of life.
This is Megan Lopez with Nesty's Burger Joint on the south side of the Taylorville Square. To see our menu, click on our icon on TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
This is Shawla's Nagel, Executive Director at Kimmer Village in Assumption. To learn more about our services, click on our icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Did you know that you could be going blind and not even know it? Dr. Smothers Champley and Dr. Craggs want you to know that glaucoma is one of the leading causes of blindness. Glaucoma can't be cured, but it can be controlled and the risk of blindness reduced if glaucoma is detected early. That's why it's important to get an eye examination through dilated pupils. It doesn't hurt, and it's easy and can save your sight. Call Advanced Eye Care today at 824-4991 and get your eyes examined. Advanced Eye Care, modern eye care, old-fashioned caring.
Your information station, WTIM.
Welcome back to WTIM, your information station. My name is Tim Zalabak, your host of the WTIM Morning Show. We'd like to thank our sponsor before we get moving with this great conversation, People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better at Landmark. On the line today is Gene Applegate, the director of the cardiopulmonary section over at Pana Community Hospital. In that first half, we talked sleep studies, what they are, why you would need one. We learned really about how important sleep is for humans here. Now we're going to learn a little bit about the risks involved, if there are any, to a sleep study. Now, Mr. Gene Applegate, this is a very controlled environment. This is very medical. Talk to us about, if there are any risks to a sleep study.
So really, there are no risks to a sleep study. It's a non-invasive and painless test. The most common side effect might be a little skin irritation from the adhesive that's used for some of the electrodes.
Okay.
So no, it's a very safe study.
I feel like that might be the first question people ask is, people are going to be operating me while I sleep. No, I mean, it's all very, very electrical, very, very scientific, the way you guys do things over there. And, people are able to sleep somehow. I mean, you guys got them comfortable enough, it seems.
Exactly, yeah.
All right. So there's our answer to that one. No risks involved in the sleep study. And if there was any, it's literally the adhesive that they use. So that is a non-issue. That's pretty cool. But so now it leads us to our next question here. If it really is a problem and maybe you can't even leave your home, can a sleep study be done in someone's own home?
So absolutely.
Okay.
So if a healthcare provider suspects that one of their patients has obstructive sleep apnea, a home test can be performed.
Great.
And that would be, the patient would come to the hospital during the day to get the equipment. We would instruct them how to put it on, and they would take it home and put it on before bed. And it includes, just a small nasal cannula, a small belt around their waist, a small finger probe. The device that actually, is attached to the belt has a built-in body position sensor, so it not only monitors their heart rate, their oxygen level, and their breathing.
Wow.
Now, it does not monitor their brain waves like it would in an in-lab sleep study, but this allows the patient to, have this study done at home and, be in the comfort of their own home, sleep in their own bed.
Yeah.
Now, the sensors that are used for this home study is, the exact same type of sensors that we use for the in-lab studies, so there's no quality issues there. So the patient puts it on, they sleep with it at night. In the morning, they take it off, and they return it back to the hospital the next day.
Easy.
Now, some insurance companies actually require a home sleep test before they would approve an in-lab test. So that's something else that we're going to be offering here later on this month. So we're excited to offer that as well.
That is really awesome. And yes, the Sleep Studies is a new service brought to you by the Pana Community Hospital. Really awesome. And we're in our last minute here, Mr. Gene Applegate, but you do your sleep study, you get everything monitored. How can patients get the results from their sleep study?
So once the study is completed, the sleep tech would score it. They send it over to Dr. Prabhu, who is going to do all of our interpretations for the studies. And then once it's done, their healthcare provider will get those results and then follow up with them.
Easy enough, and even quicker here. I mean, and this could go on for hours here. What if a patient has problems sleeping? What are they worried about? What if they're worried about that?
So basically, you just want to contact your healthcare provider and have an honest and frank discussion with them about the sleep issues that you're having, so that your provider can determine that if a sleep study is needed, they can provide you with that order, and we'd be happy to get you scheduled here at Pana Community Hospital.
Beautiful. That's easy enough. Mr. Gene Applegate, thank you so much for taking the time today.
Thank you so much, Tim.
Absolutely. The Sleep Studies, a new service brought to you by Pana Community Hospital. Talking to us about that was Gene Applegate, the cardiopulmonary director at Pana Community Hospital. We thank him for being here. My name is Tim Zalabak, your host of the WTIM Morning Show. Thank you all for listening.
Your information station, WTIM.
With SRN News, I'm Rich Thomason. Amid calls from Republicans for the resignation or the firing of Defense Secretary Austin, the White House expressing confidence in Austin, who told no one about his hospital